Through addiction, my teeth are severely destroyed. I don't know what else to do. I don't want to ask my community for help, but I feel like I have no other choice at this point. If you want to go help me, I really appreciate it.
It's a really excruciating situation.
Yeah, but some situations you can feel empathy towards someone or sympathy while also recognizing that it's part of their own decision-making that led them to that.
I'm paying for my own teeth cleaning. It's very demure, very mindful.
You are literally cosplaying Gargamel from Smurfs. You look like Rumpelstiltskin on fentanyl.
We're going to dive into the drama on TikTok between Jeffree Star.
Oh, I thought this was a different episode.
Oh.
I thought it was Lily Tino. Coming soon.
Coming soon. But yeah, maybe just say Lily Tino a bunch of times so the algorithm...
Lily Tino. Okay.
But no, Jeffree Star, the gay YouTuber and beauty influencer, versus Jools Lebron. Can you tell people, and I'm not going to interrupt you, can you tell people who Jools Lebron is?
To not interrupt a gay, white, cis man when he's speaking.
A twink when he's speaking. I mean...
You know, Blossom said I was going to quit this podcast if he keeps up with the twink jokes. I just might. No, Jools Lebron is she a plus size influencer or is she just plus size?
I think she's just an influencer who is plus size.
Okay, so Jools Lebron is a transgender influencer who started the whole trend of like very demure, very mindful. What was that, 2024?
It was a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So that's what skyrocketed her to like influencer stardom, I would say. And then recently, and there's been a few times where she's been in controversy, but recently she's been in controversy for begging on TikTok.
Yes. And so I have that video or a truncated version of it. And then Jeffree Star decided to read her over this. But first we'll talk, and now they're feuding. And they both are just like dragging each other back and forth, and it's hilarious, but some of the reads are crazy.
Well, I think both of them know that controversy does well on TikTok, so they're just milking it. I mean...
And we're here for it.
Can you blame them? That's what we do. We just had Blossom on for 4 videos. Like,
what do you mean? We only do highbrow, sophisticated content,
Well,
Clarkson.
according to Blossom, we need to get off that messy shit. Oh, no, sorry. According to Spirit.
According to Spirit, yeah.
Sure, Jan.
Honestly, also, she might be right.
But she said me, like I'm the messiest one.
Well, you do make the thumbnails and the titles.
Okay.
And choose the topics.
I did put girl in a thumbnail about
girl in a thumbnail.
I also put untuck and square up.
Well, she said that to Tish.
She said the untuck part to Blair. She did not say the square up.
No, but she said untuck and square up. Maybe she got it from the thumbnail. Because she said it to Tish on her Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She said to me, locker room, untuck and square up to a lesbian. You didn't see that? We might have to do a video on you again, Blossom. There's drama that happened for our podcast. But anyways.
Let's watch Jools Lebron asking for money for her teeth.
Okay. This is what life has come to. God.
Crazy segue.
My teeth are falling out of my head and I need your help. Listen, I'm very uncomfortable making this video because this is a video I thought I'd never have to make. Through addiction, my teeth are severely destroyed. I don't know what else to do. I don't want to ask my community for help, but I feel like I have no other choice at this point. I would love to go get a regular job. Girl, don't get me wrong, but even then, I don't think that that's going to help my situation. But I need help.
It might.
There's a link in my bio. If you want to go help me, I really appreciate it. If you can't, I understand. I really do understand everyone's in a compromising position. And I'm not trying to cry for sympathy. I just feel so uncomfortable.
I'll give you the floor in a sec, but I'll just say that I went into this extremely unsympathetic to Jools, but then I watched all the videos. I went back and watched this full 5-minute video I just took a clip from. And I actually do feel bad for her. I mean, she's in a lot of pain with the teeth. It's a really excruciating situation.
Yeah, but some situations you can feel empathy towards someone or sympathy while also recognizing that it's part of their own decision-making that led them to that.
Yes, and I do acknowledge that, but I do think the internet pounced on her for this and clowned her to infinity, and there is some validity to that. But she really does seem to be suffering. This is not
She's
like
in pain.
This is not like I want to get my grill done.
Yeah.
This is like her teeth are hurting her every single day.
Yeah.
And now the reason she can't pay for it herself is a consequence of her own actions, of course.
Well, also, like, you have 2 million followers. You have, I think she has about the same amount on Instagram. So she has similar metrics to me. but even more. And if I can afford to get my teeth done,
You got a lot more than your teeth done.
okay, correct. That proves my point even more. Then it becomes a skill issue if you're unable to monetize on that amount of audience. Also, I could post something. If I wanted to get my teeth redone, I could post that I want to get my teeth redone, and some dentist would do it for a brand deal.
She did say that she at one point had one and
then
it fell through, but you could get another.
You could get another. I've kind of done a deep dive on this, and I even made a video about it because she started posting about like, you think I can get a job? Have you ever been famous and tried to get a job? Did you see those?
Girl, you're not that famous.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you can get a job you're at 2 million followers.
Is Michigan about to elect a far-left senator? That's what everyone's wondering as the race between Democratic nominee Abdul El-Sayed and Republican nominee Mike Rogers heats up heading into November. And according to our channel partners at Kalshi, people think there's a 62% chance that Abdul El-Sayed will win in November, and Mike Rogers has just a 38% chance. A far-left Democrat winning in a state that Trump won in 2024 would be a big win for the far left. Anyway, Kalshi is the first CFTC-regulated exchange dedicated to trading on the outcome of future events. If you want to check out their politics prediction markets or all the other amazing prediction markets they've got, just go ahead and download Kalshi now or click the link in the description and use code BRADP when you sign up to get $20 free to trade when you trade $20 now. The one thing is the backlash.
So that's where my sympathy started to level out.
The one piece of other grace that I will give her is that she made a GoFundMe. And people were very bothered by that. They're like, people are struggling. They don't have money. And she did take it down and she did apologize. But the one thing I will say is that I think people did a little too much acting as if her making a GoFundMe is somehow an attack on them. It's like you're not forced.
Like you're not forced to pay for that.
You might disagree with her asking, but it's like literally no one is forced to donate anything to a GoFundMe. It is purely voluntary. It is just so I thought that she was in the wrong, and I'm going to show you a clip that shows her financial mismanagement that led here. However, I thought the backlash to her was disproportionate.
I mean, disproportionate or just accurate based on the size of your audience and your social media presence.
The level of vitriol associated.
I mean,
with
but it's the internet, so I don't really like. Okay, whatever. Like you have
millions
of followers.
How am I the empathetic one?
I just feel like this is
on this one
victim behavior. And anytime I've been in a situation where I can't afford something, I don't think there's anything wrong with making a GoFundMe. I don't think there's anything wrong with asking your audience for help. But if you do that without recognizing that you were the reason as to why you're in this position,
I mean, the teeth problems come from her addiction.
Well, not just that. I mean, she was getting paid upwards of $85,000 just 2 years ago for a brand deal.
I'm going to play you a clip now that people dug up about her.
Let's go ahead and roll the clip.
Let's watch.
Now it wasn't, we're giving $2,000 for a video. It was $45,000 for a video, $85,000 for a video. Oh. Everything taken care of, everything paid. Right. And it's coming from some of the same brands that were paying me $2,000.
And that's why people are upset with Jools Lebron for begging her audience for $50,000 for her teeth.
So there you have it. Just a little while ago, she was on television bragging about the fact she was getting 45 to 85K brand deals.
That was 2 years ago.
A single short form video.
So that's on her. I'm sorry. But like, granted, some people don't know how to manage money. And
it's still their own fault.
It's
Google's
still their own
free.
fault. You should recognize that, like, okay, if I'm an influencer peaking right now, it's going to go down. Like, also, there are so many other steps that you could take to get your teeth done. And I'm not recommending this to the audience. But all I'm saying is if you have a steady income, which Jools does, get a personal loan out. Go to Mexico or Colombia and get your teeth done there. There's so many things that I personally would have done before asking my audience to pay for $50,000 worth of work on my teeth, that it makes me lose sympathy for her situation. But I think it's less of like her being malicious, it's just more of her not being self-aware.
And then I will say that I don't
think she's a bad person.
I do have sympathy for her. I do have sympathy for people who struggle with addiction. It is a disease. It's not entirely, a moral failing of their own thing, but it is a choice was made somewhere that led to this.
No, it's a moral failing.
Well, I don't.
That deserves sympathy.
Empathy. disease that people struggle with, and I don't know that their continued struggle is necessarily always a moral failing.
Yeah, well, some moral failings have lasting effects.
I mean, there
I
were
would still
bad
classify
choices
it
that
as
were
one.
made.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I still do have sympathy for the situation. I understand that she had maybe a surge of cash flow and then
Yeah.
a big fall off.
Correct.
But she should have planned better. It is tone deaf to ask people for money for something like this. But I also, to my other point, we asked people for money to fucking interview Blossom.
Right.
And it's right. And people could have said, that's so insulting. People have bills to pay. Well, good news is literally no one had to at all.
Well, yeah, and that's not where I take issue with it. I just take issue with the victim mentality.
And she did play the victim heavy.
Yeah, there was a video that I specifically reacted to on this on my TikTok where she was saying, like, notice how it's only trans and plus size creators who are being attacked right now. And it's like, do you see how this is your reaction to your audience getting mad at you? Is, oh, well, of course it's because I'm trans or because I'm plus size. It's like, no, it's not. And that is the level of victim mentality where I was like, okay, this really is your fault because you're not reflecting on any of your actions, even now. So how people are mad that you didn't reflect on your actions before, how you mismanaged your money, how you made some poor decisions, which we have empathy for. And then now, even when you're being confronted with that reality and it's slapping in your face, you're just hiding behind your identity.
I just think the one difference is that this is a person who's in real pain and real struggle. It's not an influencer who's just like entitled and melting down and being a victim out of nothing. That's, I guess, the one difference.
Entitled.
She
is entitled. She sat on live and said that she can't work a real job, that people have no idea what it would be like. She is entitled. Now, I have, again, empathy and sympathy for her because I've been in those situations. But because I've been in those situations and I learned from them and I dug myself out of that hole, I know that it's more than easily a possibility for her if she just applied the smallest bit of accountability.
My only point is she's
herself.
In real pain. It's not like one of these bitches that was late to a haircut, then cried and said they were traumatized.
You don't think, okay, Brad, you don't think those beggars are in real pain?
No, I do not think Leanna is in real pain.
Okay, Leanna, no. But there are some beggars that we don't have a lot of sympathy for.
You think that Potts girl is in real pain? Maybe.
I would say that some of them might be self-inflicted pain by their own mindset, which then creates the diseases that they're talking about.
I just felt
or
a little
symptoms
moved
of
watching Jools cry. It felt real. I mean, I'm the sucker on this one.
I think Blossom got to Brad's head when she said, stop being messy. And now Brad came this week and was like, let me stop.
The problem is, though, I'm about to laugh at the reads that Jeffree Star has for her.
Okay.
And so then I'll be
you're
mean
preparing.
again.
You're trying to balance it out. Okay.
I'm getting my karma out of the way. So here's where Jeffree Star enters the chat. Okay. He loves to troll.
He knows how the internet works.
And he
and
absolutely
Jools
does.
was trending.
And so he made a video about it. Let's watch.
Today we're at the dentist. I'm paying for my own teeth cleaning. It's very demure, very mindful. I'm not like the other girls. I don't expect my entire audience of blue-collar 9-to-5 workers to pay for my $45,000 smile. I'm very cutesy. I'm very respectful. I'm not like the other girls. I don't fake heart attacks at the airport and then I'm filming the whole thing like, hey, how is that possible?
Okay, he did eat her up a little bit.
Did she fake a heart attack?
I don't know that it was fake, but she had some sort of medical event where
she went on a plane and I think she had an anxiety attack.
And then she blamed it on the
hate that she's getting.
And she filmed herself.
That was another situation.
Yeah,
where, again,
that's not great.
Lacking accountability because anxiety attack. Well, doctor, we might have to phone you in here. Anxiety attacks, and I hate to say this, but are you more prone to anxiety when you are an unhealthy person?
Exceptionally so.
Yeah, much more obesity and other things.
No exercise, high blood pressure, high cortisol, anxiety.
And this is not meant to body shame, but I'm just saying.
I'm just noticing things.
I'm just noticing a pattern of a lack of personal responsibility and self-reflection. Because if I had an anxiety attack from getting TikTok hate where I could just exit out of the app and I was getting on a plane, I would say I need to reassess my mental state.
And physical habits and health.
I'm too parasocially involved with my audience and my health is not in order. That's what I would get from that situation. I would not go online and say, you guys caused this.
And I will I'm always skeptical that this was a real medical emergency where you thought you were going to die when you took your phone out.
Anxiety attacks do feel like you're going to die.
No, I understand. But the fact that she was filming it, it's like if she really was in the moment thought she was having a heart attack, her first thought would not have been to
I
take out
disagree
the
with you
phone.
there. Wow, me and Brad are really just black and white today. I disagree because my first instinct would be to take out my phone.
Really?
Yeah, just because that's my first instinct for everything.
But to record and film yourself?
Well, no, because when I went into anaphylactic shock, I didn't take any pictures until I was in the ambulance.
I guess. To me, that's just the last thing on my mind.
But she
is
took a picture
content.
when she was getting rolled away on the stretcher.
Maybe.
So, and I did that in the ambulance, so I can't hate on that.
Okay.
See, self-reflection, guys.
Well, now we have her response to Jeffree Star, where she really went for his throat. Let's watch.
Free, I am gonna come for you in my wig cap, unfortunately. I know you're not serious when you're begging on gifts every single day in a mansion. We both own our homes, babe. Look at that. And guess what, Jeffree? You might be white and able-bodied and thin-bodied.
Okay.
But let's make it clear.
Thin-bodied.
I've accomplished things in my career that you've never accomplished. Beyonce will never shout you out. The likes of celebrities of Lindsay Lohan, Jennifer Lopez, Jamie Lee Curtis, the president, and the vice president will never acknowledge you. Because you're not that girl. Even with millions of dollars in the bank account, you're not that girl. Even with all the property under your belt, you're not that girl. Yeah, I might have come on the internet and begged to get my teeth fixed, bitch. But you would never be able to do that if it wasn't for the likes of people like me who bought those crunchy ass lipsticks 10 years ago. Your problem is with the system. You thought that because you did so much that you were gonna get it all and you didn't. You never got the public recognition you wanted because you're racist. So yeah, it does bother you when a black and Puerto Rican girl from the fucking hood
Oh my
who
God.
probably gets all the trade that you're having to pay for is getting all the flowers from everyone. And you're gonna try to drag me at my lowest moment over a fucking dental surgery? You got a full face of fucking implants, bitch, and you're still not getting acknowledged by the people that you want to get acknowledged by. You got a full face of fucking horse teeth, and you're still not getting acknowledged or appreciated by the public in the way that you deem you should. And that don't got shit to do with me. You've had to buy your boyfriends. I haven't. My teeth are still getting done.
That's
so
not
what
true.
now, Jeffree? Were you gonna come beat me up? I don't think you are. Well, keep it cute because it's too much now.
Keep it cute.
Okay. She did eat up Jeffree. However, not with any substance.
No.
It's kind of like eating a very high calorically nutrient deficient meal. High caloric nutrient deficient meal. That's what she just did. She ate up Jeffree, but there was no nutrients in it. Does that make sense?
Yes. There was some funny reads to it,
Yeah.
but there's not a lot of there. First off, do not invoke your freaking race.
Well,
you
it
were
was
mad
it
at
was
a Puerto
race.
Rican girl
It
is
wasn't
succeeding.
just race. It was race, size,
Fatness.
the president shouting her out, and then saying that Jeffree, and then also basically saying that all of her worth is determined by whether or not she and who and how many people give her praise. So there's just ideologically speaking, there's so much wrong with that read because it banks on race, size, and externalized validation.
We should also say that I have no idea what she's talking about with Jeffree Star buying boyfriends.
Well,
or
Jeffree always
anything.
has these like
Sugar
really,
babies, or
yeah, these like really good looking like straight,
Okay.
mostly like bisexual men around him. But there's other drama on TikTok about this one gay influencer who Jools reached out to, and this is all alleged, but Jools like reached out to on Grindr before she got big. And you've probably seen him. I think we've reacted to one of his videos, and like he blocked Jools because he like wasn't interested or whatever. He doesn't even really remember the conversation. And then when she got big, they were all at a party and he wanted to do a video with her. And then like she started talking and like all of TikTok started calling him her ex. And like there's a very clear difference in
looks.
Yeah. So that's definitely not her ex.
Also, she's like bragging about all the men she gets in the trade are in her DMs, and it's like, girl, let's be so for real.
I mean, she might. I don't know.
Then them men are into some freaky shit.
I just don't think that. I think that Jeffree, if we're looking at this logically, is in a better position because his validation is determined by his own
built a
self-worth,
successful brand and company
and he
and made
has
millions of dollars.
money. So he has a bunch of money, and he has his own self-worth that's not determined by whether or not Beyonce shouts him out.
Also, let's pause on that for a second. Her accomplishments are that she said a TikTok sound that then people repeated the meme. You didn't do anything.
So now
that's not an accomplishment.
Are we confused as to why she thinks she's too big to work?
Well, she might be too big to work.
There he is. There's the Brad. There's the Brad that we all know. It's okay. Yeah. So I am still. I mean, I don't know if I'm on Jeffree's side because I just feel like it was kind of unnecessary to read her like that.
Well, but his original video I support, actually. Like, just mocking the teeth thing, I think is fine. Right? She
Yeah,
was
like,
trending.
whatever.
She started this controversy. Let me say this. I saw much harsher and meaner satire towards her
Yeah.
than that Jeffree video. Now, and she came for his throat in
She did.
response. And now I tried, he didn't even dedicate an actual video to her. He just chatted about her in his live a couple times.
Mhm.
And it is funny because he does do these lives where people are like sending coins or
He
whatever.
that is the one part of her read where she was right, because he does ask for gifts on TikTok
But
Live.
I don't think he needs the money.
I think it's more about promoting the live, and if you get more
Yeah.
gifts, then your live gets
And
promoted.
I'm sure he wants extra money, but I don't think he's hard up for cash.
No, I don't think so either.
And it's not like begging either in the same way, but it is a little funny. But I will say she really went nuclear. Like she escalated that and went for his throat.
She channeled all the hate that she was getting, and she just let it all out on Jeffree and just laser focused on him.
And then he responded with a punch below the belt, shall we say. Let's watch.
You are literally cosplaying Gargamel from Smurfs. You look like Rumpelstiltskin on fentanyl. But you want me to clap back? There's nothing to clap to except this. I'm bored. And then it's, oh my God, Jeffree, you got your teeth fixed from Akon. You mean my multi-millionaire manager? You mean Akon, the Grammy-nominated singer? You mean Akon who signed me to his record label? You can't use things against me like that. It doesn't add up. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, cleared.
Yeah.
Rumpelstiltskin on fentanyl.
Yeah.
Remind me to never piss off Jeffree Star.
I mean, the thing is, though, is I think that the reason, because TikTok is not on Jeffree's side. They're like back on Jools' side because everybody hates Jeffree. I think if he would have went to more of like a intellectual read rather than a lowbrow one, he would have gained the higher ground on that.
Maybe. I do think
I do.
think that she did get under his skin a little.
She did.
Yeah. And
Well, it's because TikTok is now back on her side. They're like, actually, I was going to unfollow you, but since you read Jeffree Star, I'm going to follow you again.
he is hated, but
yeah.
he is savage and he does make good points sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know whose side I'm on. I think I'm just on.
I think these are two deeply flawed people and the drama has lots of fault to go around.
Yeah, I'm on the side of whatever gets this off my timeline.
Yeah. Well, guys, let us know what you think, who you side with in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the like button, all that, and become a channel member to unlock our exclusive behind-the-scenes breakdown of the Blossom, the Great. We need a name for it. Blossom Gate, B-Day.
I like B-Day.
B-Day? Okay,
Yeah.
well, for our breakdown, become a channel member. You will also unlock our members-only voicemail episodes where we react to your insane stories and give you advice on your crazy lives. And we will leave it there for this one and be back with more real soon.